Hey everyone on YouTube, it's Giles here. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm wearing the same t-shirt from yesterday, aren't I? Well, I can't help that, can I? Well, I mean, I can help that. The issue as to whether or not I can help that is very debatable, given that apparently it's an issue that a lot of autistic people have. So let's just not get into it, all right? It's Chakan, the Forever Man, on the Sega Genesis or Mega Drive. There's Mega Drive here, which is a much better name for a console. The Mega Drive, Genesis. What's that? Like a Bible's gonna fall on you? That just sounds like that's what we play Bible games on. No, the Mega Drive. Plug into the Mega Drive. It makes its own adverts. Come on. So this video is brought to you by my big toe, which which is incredibly injured right now, and that got me thinking about the subject of doctors, and that got me on the subject of today's video. Like it's funny because I was playing it while playing badminton. I lunged forward with the racket in hand, looking to return the cock from whence it came, and you know, like, have you ever stubbed your toe inside your shoe? Do you know what I mean? Like, no, I don't mean you hit your foot on something. I mean, like, for whatever reason, say your laces are loose or something like that, and your big toe is like already close to the edge of the shoe, and then you step down, it's like, ugh, and like your toe is trying to move forward but it can't, and like it sort of implodes in on itself. That's what happened to me, and I did not realize how badly I was hurt. I was just sort of like, this is a new experience. I've got so much adrenaline going through me that I'm just like, continue playing. And, you know, I'm in the locker room and it's still winding down a little bit, but then I get invigorated a little bit more by the walk home. And then I go home and I'm still feeling fabulous. And I sit down, and just as the adrenaline starts to leave my body, the searing pain and the inability to walk and the deep concern that my toe might be broken starts to wash over me like the tears of the dragon. It's not broken. It's Wednesday now, so we're 3 days in, and hopefully tomorrow I'll be back on the aerobics. But that's been a bit of a bummer because I bought shorts for my aerobics and I can't wear them. I mean, I can wear them. I'm wearing them right now. Do you want to see my calves? It's a weird invitation, but it's the first thing I notice when I put these shorts on. Hang on a moment. Look at that. That's not right, is it? Bear in mind, I don't do like any form of like weightlifting or anything like that. Like, my calves are fucking giant. Why? Why are you doing this? I could like emu kick a riot shield in half. I don't know. Magical giant calves, man. You know, like most bodybuilders, to intimidate, they go like that, don't they? With me, I have to be standing on my head to scare people, flexing my calves at them. Like, picture it. Use your imagination. So, the whole thing got me thinking about doctors, got me thinking about, you know, the fact I didn't want to see one, for starters, and the difficulty in seeing doctors. And it got me, it sort of reconnected me with an old subject of social anxiety, which is something that I suffer with alongside the autism. And it's interesting because I wanted to learn the difference between the two before I made this video and talked about it. And I watched a couple of videos, and it's one of the things where I think I retained the information a lot quicker than I thought I would, but I kept sort of watching videos anyway, just to be certain. And I think the one I'm going to highlight the most was Autism versus Social Anxiety, in brackets, why social anxiety differs from autism. That was made by the Aspie World. I'll put a link to that in the description below. And in its sort of nuts and bolts, so I'm trying to talk unhindered, but I'm distracted by the fact that my phone has like a counter now. It says, like where it says the minutes that it's recording, it says 5 of whatever seconds we're on /14 minutes, and I'm like, does that mean it's going to stop recording at 14 minutes? Why would it do that? I don't know. So that's the problem. Every time you get like a phone update, you're just like, right, what have they wrecked now? In its purest form. So if this video turns into a two-parter, I apologise. Blame the phone. Just comment Galaxy far, far away is where Galaxy should be. So to be as simplistic and to not use any fancy words whatsoever, social anxiety is more mental health based, so it is more trauma based, like something that is caused from something that actually happened that has had a knock-on effect throughout your life and stuff like that, while the social difficulties of autism are neurological, so they're just the how your brain naturally functions, how your brain is built, you could say. And the thing is, that's for me, that's the sort of story of my life, the difficulties of my life, which is trying to force out behaviours or force in behaviours, however you look upon it, when maybe they're actually immovable. For example, a good dealing of a social anxiety would be when I was assaulted when I was younger. I've mentioned this incident before. I was 15 years old. There was the same amount of chavs that there were, doubled. That happened after dark at a petrol station around the corner. The attack was completely unprovoked. And I've always said I would have loved it if it was provoked, because then I could reconcile with what caused it. But unfortunately, what caused it was having long hair, which isn't great. Having long hair and wearing a hoodie. They didn't like that. But that to me, call me crazy, but I class that as completely unprovoked. But that's given me trauma, because what causes trauma is, well, I mean, this is from my own perspective, but it's things we can't explain. It's things that I can't sort of go, that's why that happened. I guess you could sit back and go, well, dickheads exist in the world, but that's still an intangible answer in terms of keeping one's safety. Like if I go out after dark, I can't be told verbatim that there will be no dickheads to suddenly attack me. And it's manifested itself as a irrational fear, a phobia. While other things are just, I see sort of social anxiety as a little bit more outward, like when you see someone nervous for one reason or another, social anxiety is going to have you looking around, trying to be wary of those around you, because you're looking out for a trauma. You're looking out for signs of, whether it's conscious or subconscious, you're looking out for the echoes of the past, as it were. You're looking, you're looking for things that, there are things triggering you, things that remind you of things that, unpleasant things that have happened before, and you're trying to identify them to keep yourself safe. For another example, as I, off the back of that assault, when I walked down the street, scan everything. I will, every person that goes by, whether they're on my side of the street, across the street, or right down the end of the street, quiet road, I'll look out for people as much as I can. I will try and scan as much as possible because I am trying to identify potential threats. You know, that's trauma. That's a trauma having a jolly good time. While, you know, neurological, I perceive as something more inward. It's more like it's more. I mean, you know, it's more like eyes down. Like it's almost like you deactivate your brain to stay as like a safety mechanism. Like for example, I had it sounds weird. You know, I had a hard time at school. Sort of. On paper, I had a hard time at school because I didn't get good grades. But really, I had a lot of fun at school. I really enjoyed myself because I just sort of hopped rails and did whatever the bloody hell I wanted. Unfortunately, that doesn't involve any schoolwork. It doesn't involve anything that would make teachers happy, and I made some teachers very unhappy. And unfortunately, you know, there's not enough awareness for the sort of things that I'm going through. So I did have to get called lazy repeatedly by a lot of teachers, which, you know, even if there wasn't anything wrong with me, you shouldn't be doing that. That's rather lazy and abusive. But, you know, the thing is, one of the reasons why I wasn't bullied at school is often because I was very difficult to bully, because the things that would upset, rifle, annoy, you know, rile a neurotypical person, bounce off me like ping pong balls. You have to be quite abstract to hurt me. And you know, that's the sort of the truth of it. Like the ordinary things wouldn't really rile me up. So if someone's trying to pick on me, if they're trying to get their frustrations out of me, they get very little in response. And that's not me. I'm not trying to do that deliberately. I'm not sort of going, oh God, here they come, I better act like I'm dead inside. Like it's nothing like that. There's no degree of design there. It's just the way it is. It's sort of like I'm I don't know, they see me as vulnerable enough to give it a try, but they don't get enough reaction to persist. And I think I was fortunate because I know that some do get people that basically get frustrated that they get nothing back, and that's when they intensify it. And I think I was fortunate in that regard. Like most people that tried to pick on me, they just got bored and went away because I gave nothing, you know. But you could say that sort of discomfort, that's more on the autistic side of things, you know, like that sort of more, I call it numb, but that's what a lot of people say. You know, people say that autistic people are unemotional, and it's not true. They do feel, they just feel in different ways, you know. And we're just about to cross that mark that I was just talking about, 14 minutes 8 seconds. Let's see what happens. If it continues recording, fair enough, but you know, if not, we all hate Galaxy. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7